Paper towel or something?
Tissues?
Paper towel or something?
Did you have an accident, Gerald?
No, ma'am, I just hold it. Like when you do the thing with it. Remember how much I liked it. She didn't like it, but still lay there. You know what? You what?
It's great, right?
She'll be right back. Hurry, hurry. There. Go ahead. Yeah, he's so blind. Yes. Right there. Right off the corner. Okay, is this on? You got a button or? This is like kind of button. Push the button like this. Shouldn't be right. Good. I can train her on the house as well. Karen, are you ready? Carol, Bob, y'all ready? Yeah. Are you ready? You ready? Jay, Katie, you ready?
I am.
All right. Have your attention, please. Excuse me, can I have your attention, please? We're here to call this meeting to order. People, please stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank everybody for coming this evening. Ms. Willis, roll call, please.
Mr. Aaron.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Franson.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Littleton.
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Morgan. Yes. Mrs. Scruggs here. Mr. Umstead.
Yes.
And Mr. Woodson.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to announce the following additions to tonight's agenda. Under other business, item 25-317, addition to the agenda, resolution for Jefferson School will be added. This is an action item. This item will be added after item 25-306. We're going to start out with accommodations and awards, 25-291, statewide kindness ambassador award. Mr. Cantrell.
Good evening, school board members, Chairman Littleton, Ms. Stevie Johnson, and Ms. Halton. I have Mr. Fry here with us. He recently was acknowledged with the Virginian Kindness Ambassador Award. It's a real big deal. I was really excited to recommend him for this opportunity. The Kindness Award is someone who leads through compassion, positivity, and action, who inspires others with their words and deeds and constantly uplifts people around them, and also works to make their school welcoming and supportive for everyone in this guise as is that day in and day out. He goes, he really helped uplift our Help Club with helping membership. He helps set up dress-up days for our spirit clubs and games and encourage people to come, leading pep rallies. And once those events are done, where he takes it to another level, he stays, he helps clean up, helps the custodians, helps the administration at every event and every activity. He was able to play sports this year and did an outstanding job. Got the return kick for a touchdown in the football game, and we're super proud to get to see him do that as well. He's involved in clubs, activities. We've done set up events, a volleyball tournament to help raise funds for Mr. Cochran's family. So the list just keeps going on and on what this guy's done over the years. He's helped with consolidation, working with students from both schools, the kind of things that they're excited about, concerns and ways that we can move forward. I've worked with Nick for 5 years. He was an 8th grade coach in high school when he started. He's led by example every day, always choosing kindness and positivity. He'll uplift your spirit and your mood every day that you see him. And he's the outstanding person to be recognized for this work. We're so proud of him. So this was giving him a round of applause.
Thank you very much. 25-292, Winter Athletics and Activities Recognition. Mr. Will Fields.
Good evening. We'll do these by sport. Ladies and gentlemen, the school board, we're a new school, just 2 years, but it's a school that has been in this building for a little over 40 years and about this size or a little larger. I don't know if people are really aware that, in the last 2 years and even going forward, we're in the midst of an unprecedented run of athletic success from all 3 sports. I think that, we've become a little bit used to it over the last 2 years between district champions and the record number of all district and all region and all state and state champion athletes that we have. If you're any kind of student of the history of this school, it really is, an unprecedented run. This next bunch that we're going to bring up here has been a key part of that. I'm going to start with the wrestlers. The wrestling team was the 2025 Three Rivers District Champions, and I think that is their 4th championship in a row, Alleghany High School. Our first wrestler, and if I guess you come up as I announce your name, first wrestler is all district, all region, state qualifier, and a 3rd place at the state VHSL State Wrestling Tournament this past year, Carter Nicely. Next gentleman was all district, all region state qualifier, and 6th place in the VHSL state tournament, Nick Powell. Next young man, all district, all Three Rivers District, and all Region C. 2nd time for this young man, Dylan Osborne. Next wrestler, all Three Rivers District, Kirby Brown. Next young man was all Three Rivers District, David Osborne. Our next wrestler was also all Three Rivers District, Tristan Madison. Oh, okay, I got you. Hey, I'm right here. So I'm new to this too. Next young man, All Three Rivers District, Kylan Tolley. Our next wrestler was All Three Rivers District and All Region 3C, Javon Myers. Our next wrestler was All Three Rivers District, All Region 3C, and a state quality Virginia High School League State Tournament, freshman Parker Osborne. Next wrestler was All Three Rivers District, again freshman Zane George. Next wrestler was All Three Rivers District, Ethan Shue. And All Region 3C, Hayden Wills. Moving along to indoor track. All right. Our first indoor track person was Three Rivers District champion in the 3,200 meter, Region C champion in 3,200 meter, the Class AAA state champion in the 3,200 meter run. Three Rivers District champion in the 4x8 relay, and Region 3C champion in the 4x8 relay. Who else but Carolina? Our next runner was the Three Rivers District and Region C champion in the 4x800 meter relay, Maggie Hensley. Next, the Three Rivers District champion, Region 3C champion in the 4x8 relay, and the Three Rivers District champion in the 3,200 meter run, Faith Barron. Our next runner was Three Rivers District and Region 3C champion in the 4x800 relay, Leah Byers. And the Three Rivers District Champion in the triple jump, Bryson Griffith. Begin with boys basketball. All Three Rivers District first team and Region 3C basketball second team, Chase DePriest. All Three Rivers District first team, Xavier Hazley. Three Rivers District basketball, second team, Eli Insminger. Three Rivers District basketball honorable mention, Mason Hale. And Three Rivers District basketball honorable mention, Ian Insminger. Move on to the girls basketball. The girls were the 2025 Three Rivers District champions. Our first player was all Three Rivers District basketball first team, Region 3C basketball first team, and the first 1,000 point scorer as an Alleghany Cougar, Bryce Leach. All Three Rivers District basketball first team player, Kelsey Nicely. All Three Rivers District basketball second team, Jakara Pilot. All Three Rivers District basketball honorable mention, Caden Jack. And all Three Rivers District basketball honorable mention, Tyasia Smith. Like I said, really an unprecedented run for our sports teams. So much to be proud of, so much success on all the fields. Wanted to mention one thing, not on the agenda, but I have the microphone, so I thought I'd say it. But all these teams, all of our success in sports, I think people know you have your headliners and the people you know of, but so many successes are built on team members that maybe are lesser known, but they're willing to do, literally whatever it takes. And here on the Alleghany Highlands Public Schools team, just to let you guys know, at about 6 o'clock about 6:15 on Saturday morning, my phone rang. And I don't know if you know, because of our shortage of activity drivers, just about every day transportation puts together a house of cards that gets kids to practices and games. And apparently going into that morning, one of the cards fell at our house, as this happens sometimes. I got a call at 6 in the morning, and the middle school track team was down at the middle school before sunup with no bus driver. We had Audie Bishop was supposed to take the softball team to Brookville at 9 o'clock in the morning. And so I called Christina LeMaster, woke her up. She got on the phone, and you know, Audie was not only awake at 6 o'clock in the morning, 3 hours ready to go, he was getting his bus ready. So he was about 5 minutes out, so he went over and took the cross-country team. Stacy Patterson, who was supposed to ride with his team as the softball coach to Lynchburg, was then put in the seat of one of the Marshmallow buses driving his team. And Christina put it all together. So, you know, as a coach, after a successful game, you recognize the people that maybe the sports writers and the fans don't see. So, game balls to Christina LeMaster, Audie Bishop, and Stacy Patterson. You know, 3 people in the school system, you know, lesser known players that made it happen when they have to. And let me tell you, that's not the only time that's happened. Just wanted to recognize them.
Thank you very much, Coach Fields, and congratulations to all of our student athletes. Next item, 25-293, PSBA Business Honor Roll recipients. Mr. Gleason.
Mr. Chairman, we have the pleasure tonight of recognizing 3 of our valued business partners in the community who helped make Alleghany Highlands Public Schools the success it is. If you recall, a couple of months ago, you nominated Jackson River Community Credit Union, Lyda Realty LLC, and S.J. Meatball for recognition by the Virginia School Board Association for their valued support in backing public education in the Alleghany Highlands. Tonight we have representatives from the Jackson River Community Credit Union and Lyda Realty LLC that are here to get the recognition they deserve in public at a meeting tonight. So first would Ms. Kathleen Hall, the Jackson River Community Credit Union, come forward, please. I think she has some of her associates with her. Back in February, we had a math teacher at the high school who came in and outlined a data science course that's now being offered to students at the high school. And he talked so much about how the Jackson River Community Credit Union has offered an opportunity for our students to go and work in the real world and get hands-on experience related to data science. And this is all in our team. We bear a great deal of gratitude and appreciation for allowing our students to do that. And if you recall, back in August, Mrs. Hall stood on this very platform and gave our teachers and staff a rousing talk to get the school year started on a good note. So, Mrs. Hall, we thank you and the credit union for everything you do for our students and to support public education in the Highlands.
Thank you very much.
Next we have Ms. Kathy White, who owns White Realty LLC in Covington. We have a small animal care program at Alleghany High School. The teacher is Teresa Reed, and she's worked closely with Dr. Shannon Furman to make this program a success because it helps prepare students for the future. They observe small animals, they care for the animals, and assess them for adoption in the households of the community. And it's a win-win for our students and the community because a lot of these animals have been adopted out from organizations such as the Humane Society and so forth, and that helps the community cut down on the cost of sheltering these animals. And from the get-go, Ms. Lytle has been a strong advocate of this program, providing funding and different aspects to help our students along. And we're here tonight to publicly thank her for the strong support of the students in Alleghany Highlands Public School. Our third business didn't have a representative here tonight. It was S.J. Needhawk. S.J. Needhawk really comes through to back our students at Jackson River Technical Center. Principal Josh Kraft said that the S.J. Needhawk provides lumber to the carpentry program at minimal cost, or sometimes donates it for free. They also provide materials to the electrical program and other programs at the center that help train our kids for the future. So thank you all to S.J. Needhawk, Lyda Realty LLC, and the Jackson River Community Credit Union deserve a big hand of applause tonight for what they do to support our community and our students.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lee. And we appreciate all of our community support. Next item, 25-294, Instructional Spotlight, Hands-on Weather Tool Construction. This is represented by Ms. Lowe and her students from Jeter Watson. And personally, it's one of my favorite parts of our meetings.
Good evening, Superintendent Halton, Ms. Johnson, members of the school board, our parents, and our community. My name is Brenda Lowe, and I teach fifth grade science at Jeter Watson Elementary School. Tonight, I'm joined by some of my incredible students to share a hands-on component of our science curriculum. Virginia Standard of Learning 4.4 states that students will investigate and understand that weather conditions affect ecosystems and can be predicted. To deepen our understanding, our class created weather instruments using recycled household materials. These included thermometers for measuring temperature, barometers to observe changes in air pressure, anemometers to measure wind speed, and rain gauges to track precipitation. Through this project, students learn not only how these instruments work, but why they matter, and how scientists and meteorologists use these tools to predict weather and to study climate trends. This activity was more than just hands-on fun. It allowed students to apply scientific inquiry process, hands-on reinforcing their ability to ask questions, make observations, and draw conclusions. All the tools that are also emphasized in the Standards of Learning 5.1. We're excited to invite you to take part in a short activity where you'll team up with our students to build a simple weather instrument. As you work together, students will explain how their instrument works, what it measures and why it's important, the limits of the model. Thank you for supporting our science education at Jeter Watson Elementary and for giving our students a chance to showcase their creativity, knowledge, and curiosity. We hope that you enjoy building with us. Okay, and somebody have a camera. You got it? So our thermometers, they're coming up next. Our anemometers. My anemometers will come on. They'll be looking for air, and salt. And I'll get one person to come back and do your spot.
That's all, just take it.
Our barometers, you'll be working with Ms. Scroger Duncan and Mr. Woodson. And our rain gauges, we'll be working with Mr. Francis and Ms. Johnson. So if I could get one person from each group to come get their supplies, except for thermometers, I'll need 2 people. Okay guys, if one person will come get your supplies. Mason, Kendrick's already getting it.
You're getting ready to get on this.
Are y'all twins?
I'm Jay.
Nice to meet you.
That'll be good.
How's it going? Helping you with your nerves.
How long have you been on? 2 weeks. I'm sure you're ready to be.
What a barometer.
Did you say
What a barometer.
to measure air pressure? How powerful you
Why is it?
We're very glad.
Like it helps predict what. Yeah, but you want to
You're gonna have to clean up this water. Need some space here? Yeah.
restraint is important because it helps predict unpredictable, like it should be very slow, and that means a storm is most likely to come. That's why
What was it today?
it was sunny most of the day, so it's probably high pressure.
What's supposed to happen, right?
It usually drops at night because nights usually colder. Yeah. Isn't there an alert place called
Yes.
Showing a lot of
This one,
So you don't need to see it. And then the first step is to blow it up and then deflate. This helps you like stretch it and stuff. Okay, here's your name. Okay, and you cut it.
So we'll have 8 total, or we total?
And then I'll put it on. Like, I need to remember that.
We just don't want to, like, not remember that you're supposed to.
Once we cut, we can't go back.
Now maybe.
What am I supposed to do?
Okay, guys, remember. Do we need to do it in the next channel?
Oh, we talked to Rick.
Okay.
2 of them?
Yeah, usually two.
I need to. Well, get there for it. Where are you in? And the boss is for a 5th grader, I think. So what is this going to give? How much it's going to rain? How many what? Like that?
Does it still work?
So
So it's a 3-year-old. Right. They kind of wanted to make it.
This is called team.
It doesn't have to be
Which way do they attach this? Going in?
It doesn't mess up anything.
Oh, and in a certain.
Take it to the.
Yeah. Usually you need 2 or 3.
Oh, really? 2 or 3 pieces.
Yeah, it doesn't stay on
So they're all oriented the same.
Yes.
And then we just measure it. It's like Christmas tree.
We're doing all right.
The sun's rising.
Uh-oh, that wasn't too good. You came apart already. Well, I'm glad I'm up
Oh,
there.
I
You just do this.
The next step.
Very good.
Yeah, we got it.
I'll say I have to do it. Try to put it in the machine. Now, voice on the video when you're talking to
All right,
somebody.
now what you do? Does it matter which side?
I'm trying to make
This side?
it more
Not measure, you cards.
All right, don't hook your finger.
You gotta do the next one.
Like this or like this? This your high,
Where the average is,
this and this.
so you gotta put a hole in the bottom, and then the bottom. Oh, we have to do high up here. There you go.
Did you?
Where's the mud? Okay, so if the air temperature and pressure changes, as it goes high, we're going strong.
Do like this.
Or do you want it down by the point?
Or do you want it back? Just like this.
Tell us how.
Most of the people couldn't do what you guys do. If I had adults come up here and do
I gotta
this,
feel my one.
they couldn't.
Go ahead and try.
Have a good time.
All right, now we'll do.
It makes it move, right?
Believe me, if it brings like to fill that jug up, life's not gonna be good here.
This is on my top. We have the barometer group.
This is a real barometer.
Yeah.
You did good, Joe.
That's awesome. Thanks, guys.
Do you know that barometric pressure is really high?
Except that one.
Here, I got them all.
Oh, did you? Grab another. You need to. You guys are all right. You look like a butterfinger man. You did school. Y'all did good.
Thank you, Grayson Mason.
You don't like M&M's?
You
You like the M&M's? That's good. What do you like?
You got all
Thank
kinds
you very
of
much.
What about a Kit Kat?
Mickey Mouse?
Don't like candy.
Yeah, I like
I got one.
We're proud of
I've always seen them like
I gave you a
on little weather stations.
it.
That's neat.
Next we go.
Very neat, girls.
Next we go.
Yes, thank you. Okay. We'll have fun too.
Y'all were very well spoken. You gave us very good directions.
So did you learn what these guys are doing?
It's been a long time since we've been students.
Is this class?
That isn't most people like.
But it tells you direction that each one.
Yeah, it shows around.
What is this? What is your class? Is it just science or is it gifted? Yeah, the pressure gets high. That's good.
He's an engineer, so we figured he was probably not
Is your, y'all like this class pretty good? Yeah. It's fun. Maybe one of my favorites. It's good class. The solar system.
This would be a lot of fun.
Are you?
Like later down, like how to do square root.
Hopefully I'll find your mind. Good.
I don't know, but some people
You guys enjoy school? How does she play baseball?
I know how to do.
I still don't know what I want to do. I don't think we can build one of those You guys did real well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Are you taking this with you?
Very good. Very, very good poster. Well done. Absolutely.
Might have to call. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much.
Oops, there goes the play doh. We'll put it back in there. Dry.
Let's go take them back there, okay? So have you?
Good job, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Excellent.
Lock the back door.
It was a team. It was a team effort.
Let me go get a
Thank
paper
you.
towel.
Ladies, don't get candy. They're trying to hurt me up. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Have a good
Any
evening.
more? Good.
I choose. Pretty ones.
That's fine.
Yeah, if you want to go out this way instead, there's a ramp.
Well, they're coming back.
Yeah, they're gonna come back here.
They're good. Come on.
We had a little bit of an accident, so we're getting over this. Thank you very much.
What'd you
And
do,
I'm not-
Danielle?
I didn't do anything, the alcohol spilled.
Wait,
We're sanitizing the tape out here.
Okay.
Thank you.
We're still in.
I would be
yeah, if you want to go down there,
You'd rather do
I appreciate you very much.
yeah, they're pretty scary. There's a ramp over here.
There's a ramp over there.
What's going down there?
I think she's going down the ramp.
She is going down
I
there.
think she's going down the ramp. Okay, because it's pretty steep.
Yes, it is. Okay, I'll go with you. Thank you, guys.
Thank y'all. Good job.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mrs. Love.
That was fun.
A lot of fun.
Thank you. Look at Chris. He's just getting that thing tired.
We want to thank Miss Lowe and her 5th grade class. That was very educational. We are moving on to our consent agenda, and I just want to say if you people here for the instructional spotlight. (25-295) consent agenda. This is an action item. It's the minutes of the March 3rd work session and called meeting, March 11th called meeting, March 17th regular meeting, and March 18th joint work session, March 31st called meeting. And B, review of the bills. Is there any questions by board members on any of those items? If not, I'll take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Ms. Scruggs Duncan. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Olmsted. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Ayers.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Franklin.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Littleton.
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Morgan.
Yes.
Mrs. Scruggs Duncan.
Yes.
Mr. Umstead.
Yes.
And Mr. Woodson.
Yes, ma'am.
On to 25-296. These are informational items. Cafeteria report, capital improvement operational maintenance updates, budget report, division operational updates, and board development materials. This is on health and safety, summarizing transportation department training, instruction, attendance zone, transfer processes, instruction, Jackson River Governor School materials, instruction, availability of Hope Street career exploration application, instruction, evidence-based interventions, EBIs, in reading the mathematics, and number 6, time clock and absence management innovations.
Good. Any questions?
Any questions from any board members on any of those items? If not, we'll move on to budget and finance. 25-297, instruction support position bonuses for information.
Chairman Littleton and members of the board, our board budget committee and our finance department have been working in response to the governor's budget amendment for a one-time standards of quality instructional and support position bonus. And so we have updated that proposal to be a little bit more inclusive. So basically what this memo describes is a recommendation of a $1,000 per full-time employee and a $500 per part-time employee bonus. That would be paid in late June to employees who were employed January 1st and are in good standing as of June 1st. So this is for our full-time and part-time employees, not so much our contingent staff, although obviously those individuals are very important as well. And we would want to make sure always when we're talking about these type of updates to indicate that these are one-time special acts. Bonuses are also not creditable under the Virginia retirement system credits. So that is the proposal. Ms. Persinger and her team believe this to be an affordable proposal for us. And this is for information. It would be for action next month.
Thank you, Superintendent Halterman. Any questions from board members? If not, we'll move on to 25-298. Calendar information, April 18th through 22nd, spring break. All schools and offices closed. May 16th, workforce and military signing day. May 19th is our regular meeting. May 26th, holiday, and all schools and offices closed. May 30th, AHS graduation, VSBA school law conference. June 12th is our regular meeting, and July 25th, VSBA conference on education. We'll move on to instruction reports and recommendations. 25-299, consider approval of the 25 summer school recommended staffing plan. This is an action item.
Chairman Littleton, Superintendent Littleton, Mr. Johnson, board members. Mr. Callahan came before you last month with the summer school plan. Nothing's changed, so have any questions? Of course, it's an action item, so questions that you allow us to move on with something.
Thank you, Mr. Ross. Any questions, Mr. Ross, on this? If not, we'll take a motion. Motion by Mr. Prince, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Morgan. Any further discussion? Not roll call, please.
Mr. Earp,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Franzen,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Littleton,
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Morgan,
Yes.
Mrs. Scruggs Duncan, Mr. Umstead,
Yes.
and Mr. Woodson.
Yes, ma'am.
On the next item, 25-300, consider approval of career technical education local plan. This is an action item as well.
Last month, I came before you talking about the Perkins plan. Of course, we still don't have the actual numbers. We have a draft of what we plan to use our funds for, like we do every year at this time. This is a major part of our CTE budget, so I'm asking for your approval of that.
Thank you, Mr. Ross. Any questions? If not, we'll take a motion to approve.
Move for approval of career and technical education local plan.
Motion by Mr. Eric. Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Morgan. Any discussion? Not, roll call, please.
Mr. Earp,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Franzen,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Littleton,
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Morgan,
Yes.
Mrs. Scruggs Duncan,
Yes.
Mr. Umstead,
Yes.
and Mr. Woodson.
Yes, ma'am.
25-301, consider approval of workforce readiness resolution. This is an action item.
Of course,
Chairman Littleton and members of the board, our CT team is very proud, as well as our overall secondary team, that it is Workforce Readiness Month, with April 16th in particular being recognized as Workforce Readiness Day in Virginia. So this is an important acknowledgement of the role of work-based learning in our community for all of our students who are interested in that. It does include a wide variety of students, some who are in career technical education courses and some who are not. And Mr. Ross may have additional information on the readiness resolution. Excuse me, it's a mouthful per se, but the importance is that we are acting to honor that it is Workforce Readiness Month. So that can also be our motion this evening as needed.
right, and the resolution itself is part of what VSBA put together, so hopefully we will do the same for our kids.
Do we need that read?
Yes.
You looking at me, Mr. Chairman?
If you don't mind, Mr. Harris.
If my contacts will cooperate, yes, sir, I'll be happy to. Whereas workforce readiness is essential to developing skill sets for students in Virginia public schools to be successful beyond high school graduation, and whereas the demand for highly skilled jobs over the next decade in Virginia will continue to increase and can be filled by qualified public schools students, and whereas we recognize increased collaboration with business and industry, the community college system and the core school setting is necessary, and whereas the promise of public education is for every child to be successful in school and life, and whereas it is important for Virginia families, students, teachers, and school administrators to be actively engaged in supporting the importance of workforce readiness as part of the educational experience, and now, therefore, be it resolved, the Alleghany Highlands Public Schools recognizes the month of April 2025 as VSBA Workforce Readiness Month and April 16th, 2025 as VSBA Workforce Readiness Day
with the intention to advocate and increase awareness about the supports necessary to promote workforce development, opportunities that enable students to be prepared to succeed in the global economy. Adopted in Alleghany County, Virginia, this 14th day of April 2025.
Thank you very much, Mr. Eric. Do we have a motion to approve this resolution?
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. Scruggs Duncan, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Eric. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Eric.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Francis.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Littleton.
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Morgan.
Yes.
Mrs. Scruggs Duncan.
Yes.
Mr. Umstead.
Yes.
Mr. Woodson.
Yes, ma'am.
On to consider approval of recently approved drafting course. This is an action item. I'm sorry, that's 25-302.
Back in September, the process was started to add the drafting program courses to our program of studies with the state. It's a long process because we're now in April, and we got this back maybe 3 weeks ago that it was approved at the state level, so we're asking for board approval so we can add it to our program of studies.
Thank you, Mr. Ross. Any questions?
Yeah, I'm assuming all four of these courses of study that fall under the drafting, is that all going to happen at JRTC, or will some of it happen at
JRTC.
JRTC.
So we have a 3-year program.
3?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Any other? Okay, Mr. Thompson.
Is it a sequence program?
Yes, sir.
So there are basically 4 years of it,
It's
or 2?
I can address that if you want me to, Mr. Ross.
yes, sir. Please do. I was looking.
Thank you, Mr. Kraft.
A voice from heaven.
Voice from heaven.
Very simply, Mr. Umstead and the rest of the board, by the way, Madam Superintendent, ladies and gentlemen of the board, Mr. Chairman, thank you for allowing me to answer Mr. Umstead's question. Yes, it is a 3-year sequence program. It is not a 4-year program. I included advanced drafting in there, just as, bells and whistles. But drafting 1, 2, and 3 will be the 3-year course.
So when they leave here, will they get some sort of certificate?
Yes, they are credentialed in AutoDraft Revit or AutoDraft, what's the other one called? I don't know, but there are 2 options that they can choose from. One is focused on architecture, the other is focused on engineering.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Thank you.
And this is an action item.
Make a motion to approve drafting courses that have been second.
Motion by Mr. Woodson, second by Mr. Umstead. Any discussion? If not, roll call.
Mr. Eric.
Yes.
Mr. Francis.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Littleton.
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Morgan.
Yes.
Mrs. Scruggs Duncan.
Yes.
Mr. Umstead.
Before I say yes, is there a cost to this? So we're gonna have to buy something to do this? Or we have it already?
We already.
All right, yes.
Mr. Woodson.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
25-303, consider approval of special education plan. This is an action item. Dr. Conway.
Chairman Littleton, board members, superintendents, I come to you tonight seeking an action for approval of my special education annual plans. Brought this to you last month, sorry, it seems like last week. My plan for all the information that you need. Does anybody have any questions? Just seeking approval for tonight, so that I can move on to see how I can implement it going forward. So anybody have any questions?
Sir, are the rules changing?
What rules?
I'd like to address that one. Is the state going to help us out? The federal government fades away?
And I can't answer that question. I don't know. But I know that this money does fluctuate. It's based off student count, it's based off federal allotment on a formula that nobody can understand, at least not anybody other than higher intelligence of anybody. They have a formula that I don't know how they calculate the money. But I don't believe that the federal government, this money has to come to us. It has to, because it's how we run our budgets, how we employ our staff. So as far as problems from the federal government, I don't believe that this money will be again, it may fluctuate a little bit as it does every year, but I don't believe that it'll come. I mean, there has to be money set aside from the federal government for IDEA, for special education, for special ed. And I hope and pray that they're smart enough not to never take that money away. So I don't believe so. To answer your question best I can. So, anybody have any other questions?
Excuse me, Joe.
Thank
you, sir.
Motion by Ms. Scruggs, Johnson, second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Newton. Roll, discussion? Not roll call?
Mr. Eric?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Francis?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Littleton?
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Morgan?
Yes.
Mrs. Scruggs Duncan?
Yes.
Mr. Umstead?
Yes.
And Mr. Woodson?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Conway.
Thank you all.
25-304 MGTC Information Technology Academic Update. This is for information. Ms. Cox.
Good evening, Chairman Littleton, members of the board, Superintendent Halterman, and Ms. Sneak Johnson. I am privileged to be able to serve on the board as the AHPS representative for the MG Tech. It is a really exciting program. I have with us tonight Dr. Ben Worth. He is the Vice President of Academic Affairs at Mountain Gateway Community College, and we just hired a new director, and that is Mr. David James, and I'm going to let the two of them just speak for a minute, and once they have finished speaking, we're going to have a little short video clip about MG Tech.
Oh, thank you for that introduction. I'm so excited to be here today, especially with my new director, David Jones. You've been hearing about MG Tech for several years now. We're really excited to bring it over the finish line. This is the IT Academy. It has instruction in cybersecurity, cloud computing, technical support. We'll be launching this fall. It starts with high school sophomores. They progress through their senior year. They earn industry-recognized certifications in everything from cloud computing to learning how to code in Python. We had a wonderful experience on our campus late last fall. We had students from Alleghany High School there. They were playing with some of the drones that we have for the program. They're going to learn how to do things like code drones and use the coding that they learned to operate machinery. One of our big goals for the program is as these kids progress and learn these skills, we want to put them out in the community working with local businesses, doing work with our K-12 partners, doing work with the hospitals in the area, so they can actually take these skills and put them to use. Our vision is that students can leave this program, the courses that they take can help them transfer into two-year programs like what we offer at Mountain Gateway, or into four-year universities. They can also go straight to work with the skills they have. I want to introduce you to David Jones. He is our new MG Tech director. He's day 3 on the job. He comes to us with just a wealth of experience. He has a master's degree from Webster University and is working on a doctorate at Virginia Tech. He had his own private software company in California. He did work in mine ventilation and 3D modeling. Did some really interesting work with the Fresno Unified School District on analytic dashboards. He's worked with the Cyber Defense Lab at the Virginia Military Institute. He's worked on a number of grants, and let me just let David introduce himself real quick. Very excited to have him with us.
How you doing? My name is David Jones. My kids go to Rockbridge High, so they are products of rural education. My graduate studies specialize in rural and economically oppressed areas, bringing cybersecurity and computer science to these areas so that children, so that the students have, in less than a generation, an opportunity to get out of these economically depressed situations, not necessarily leaving where they live, but maybe bringing business and jobs and opportunity to where they are. Look forward to working with your students. And yeah, my name is David Jones, and come out and see me at MG Tech.
Thank you. We got a video to show?
Yes.
You like problem solving, making sense of data, being someone's hero when they have a tech issue. Now imagine turning your skills into a career. If you're a high school sophomore, junior, or senior who enjoys computing, cybersecurity, or IT, now you can pursue what you love and earn college credit at the MG Tech IT Academy. Immerse yourself in the world of IT, even gain real-world experience through local internships. You pick your focus: cybersecurity, cloud computing, or technical support. Then start your hands-on journey, including the chance to fly drones, build robots, learn ethical hacking, plus create your own business and protect it from digital threats. Jobs in IT are booming, but we're competitive. The IT Academy gives you the edge to stand apart. Talk to your family, they'll be impressed with thinking about your future. Then visit www.mgcc.edu/mg-tech or talk to your career counselor. The MG Tech IT Academy. College credit, real-world experience, and a future you'll love. Apply by February 15th.
Well, we're very excited to launch MG Tech this fall. We've got a few spots left for a few more students, and I'm available to answer any questions that the board has.
Any questions?
Yeah, so what age groups will we be involved with?
So we're starting with high school sophomores. Now we will also be running this summer a summer camp. It's geared more towards middle school, rising freshmen, as a way of getting them interested into cybersecurity. It's a week-long summer camp in cybersecurity, the Cyber Patriot Camp. But the MG Tech program will start with high school sophomores.
And I guess scheduling is underway. We plan for this to start next year?
Yes, this will be starting in the fall. We will be running classes on our campus here in Clifton Forge. We will also have students able to attend at our new location in Buena Vista.
If a student's interested, what do they need to do?
They just need to reach out to us, and we can help them with the application. And it's open to all high school students, students of high school age in our area.
I think if you mentioned, Ben, some of the opportunities, the certificates they can graduate with and go straight to work from high school graduation at some pretty high salaries that would, and then stay here in the community.
Yeah, the cloud computing opportunity, that's part of this, the cybersecurity needs. I mean, we all know about cybersecurity. I know you as a board deal with the cybersecurity challenges of maintaining secure networks. There are absolutely jobs available in those areas, and those jobs pay well, and students can go straight to work with the certifications that we offer.
And even work from home so they don't.
And even work from home so they don't have to leave the area.
That's
Absolutely.
Any other questions?
Thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We are moving on to administrative reports and recommendations. 25-305, CMS situation update. This is it for information.
Chairman Littleton and members of the board, there is a memo I'm referencing here that you can also see up on that screen if you happen to be in the audience. Excuse me. And it's just basically some reminders. On April 9th, so that was last week, AHPS held a press conference to share several important updates about CMS's air quality. Around the same time, parents and staff were notified that that dedicated website has been updated with that same information. So just to make sure everybody knows what that website is, it is cmsincident, the word incident.com. That website does include a variety of information, but very importantly to this update, it does include an additional environmental report that was released by the school board. That was a study of air quality when the building is fully occupied and is a direct result of another study that was previously on the website and still remains there. That's the facility dynamics study, or sometimes referred to as the mechanical study, from their March 4th report. So all of those reports are available on the website. Want to make sure we emphasize that. In follow-up, one of the more common questions that we have heard is questions about the community health investigations related to information from January 31st. So AHPS has shared that this latest report again indicates that AHPS does not have an issue with carbon monoxide in the building. However, there is an airflow and ventilation optimization opportunity, a way to get additional fresh air exchange that when resolved should help us address the unrelated odor issues that are present and some occupants have observed. The school board has authorized the purchase of new equipment to improve the airflow, which is a great thing. We appreciate that support of the school board. AHPS is, of course, continuing to monitor the situation closely, has consulted with multiple subject matter experts. You have a lot of that information on the website, and I just want to keep emphasizing that because we are not those subject matter experts, but we want to make sure you have full access to those reports, and that's why they are posted on the website. We'll also reference that the Virginia Department of Health has reiterated their investigation into a cluster of reports related to elevated carboxyhemoglobin levels in the community. And they continue that investigation, but they do not believe there's any connection between those levels and Covington Middle School. That's been true for a while in their communications, but it is interesting to go to the website and review the 4 communications they've released as situational updates on this matter, as well as a frequently asked questions document and some other resources that are there for anyone who's interested. The multiple expert sources we've consulted certainly include those public health agencies. We're very grateful for their feedback. We really appreciate all the input that they have offered because they have not only helped us in managing to move through the school year safely, but they've also helped communicate with the community. We're very fortunate to have all those individuals involved. Again, a reminder that we appreciate everyone's patience because this has been challenging for everyone, and we want to remind folks to please check that website, cmsincident.com. We also, this has been in several of our communications, so we want to make sure we take a moment to again remind the public or anyone interested that families or individuals seeking additional guidance or having additional questions, another option you have is to contact the Blue Ridge Poison Center. They'll answer questions about a variety of concerns. I've learned over the years they'll answer lots of questions about different things, ranging from insect bites to other incidences. And their phone number is included here for reference. It's also widely available online. But that phone number is 800-451-1428. They do provide confidential and free advisement. And one of the things that is unique about the Poison Center that may be helpful is they are able to provide specific health advice. Very few free healthcare lines are actually empowered to do that. So this is an interesting thing to know, even for unrelated concerns to this matter. It's something that can be of use to all of us. That is a summary update, of course. That probably sounds familiar from our April 9th press event, but wanted to make sure that that was shared this evening as well.
Thank you, Superintendent Halter.
Are we having odor issues at Mountain View now as well?
I'm currently unfamiliar, but I can follow up on that.
I just saw it in a report here that there were some odor issues at Mountain View that was in the facilities update.
Okay. Oh, is that from the earlier update, from the operational update? Just one second.
Yes.
Let me see if I can help you with that. Thank you for referencing that back.
Oh, it's a fan.
Yes, it was related to a fan belt. You are correct. So a fan belt burning out on a motor. I apologize. I was not familiar with that specific.
Thank you. All right, on to 25-317. This is the addition to agenda, the resolution for Jefferson School.
Capital improvement, sorry, we skipped one accidentally.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Review of the capital improvement plan. That's 25-306. Apologize.
Thank you, Chairman Littleton and members of the board. I hope you can hear me. We have presented to you this evening our updated capital improvement plan for information. It's a working, living document, and we continue to fine-tune the needs of the school division, the needs of each school, and try to prioritize what we can do in each academic year. Right now, we're pleased with the number of capital improvement projects on our plan to date. So some recent questions have arisen about some major projects on the horizon. Tennis courts are part of the project at Alleghany High School, Jackson River Technical Center, to do an upgrade and a new building, set of tennis courts in 24, 25, 25, 26 for about $1,200,000, which we hope will be local funded. The Mountain View Elementary School Clifton Academy roof is in need of repair, and that's on the plan for slated for construction and starting this school possibly years and next year for $2,355,000. There are also additional projects that have been prioritized across each school. Mr. Littleton remains the board liaison for capital projects. It's a ongoing working document with many people providing input, and we welcome any questions you might have prior to voting on it next month.
Ms. Snead Johnson, the tennis courts, I can't remember off the top of my head, I'm sorry. Is that a 4 or 6?
It's 6 tennis courts.
6 tennis courts.
Yes.
And that will be located up on the hill, kind of where the junior parking lot is. Behind the softball field.
Yes.
If we have detailed questions around any of these, are you the appropriate person to come to, or?
There's a team of us, but yes, sir, I would be the start with me, yes, sir. And we'll find you the answer if I don't know.
I have enough questions to last us the rest of the night, but I don't want to. I don't want to do that, so I'll get with you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
This color coding is sort of the stages by year, by fiscal year?
Yes, it is, and we try to keep it also listed so you can see where the funding might come from, whether it's something that we can locally fund through a Board of Supervisor project, or whether we have the money to fund the project within our local school board budget.
Thank you very much, Ms. Snead Johnson. Any other questions for Ms. Snead Johnson? If not, we'll move on to 25-317, where I tried to go a minute ago. This is the addition to the agenda resolution of Jefferson School.
Yes. Chairman Littleton, members of the board, this is a little bit of an unusual request this evening, so I want to take a second to explain it. The town of Clifton Forge is interested in redeveloping the property known as the Jefferson School. But when they went to engage in that process, they realized that that building was still titled to the Clifton Forge City School Board, which of course has not been in existence for a large amount of time, since the early 1980s. So this resolution tonight that comes before you is sort of a matter of cleaning up that process. The Alleghany Highlands School Board would be sort of the heir apparent to that succession from Clifton Forge City School Board. And so our friends in the town of Clifton Forge and in Alleghany County are requesting that we can pass this resolution to convey that title back so that they might engage in some redevelopment activity. It is not a property currently in use by the school division. You will notice upon reviewing the resolution is written in a little bit different style than what the school board resolutions often look like. And that's simply to help out our friends in local government. It's consistent with the way that they write their resolutions. So happy to try to address that further, but it just basically is a matter of surplus property.
So who have we paid any taxes? Are we responsible for the expenses that have been, any upkeep expenses, or has that just been happening or not happening?
I think Clifton Forge has assumed that they were in control of the building since approximately, I would say approximately 1983.
Do we want to add the Clifton Forge High School to this and just do it as well?
I'm not certain that that's popped up on the same title search. So we can certainly follow up with them and make sure there's not something else that we need to take care of, but I think it only applies to this property. They were looking at their different properties, looking towards redevelopment.
we could sell it to them and fix our airflow thing up there.
Ms. Morgan, if you don't mind reading the resolution for us?
Whereas the Jefferson School Property Compromising Tax Map numbers 124-1-4-7, 124-1-4-8, 124-1-4-9, 124-1-4-10, 124-1-4-11, and 124-1-4-12A. The Jefferson School is no longer used for educational purposes, and whereas the town of Clifton Forge has indicated its desire to acquire the Jefferson School, and whereas the Jefferson School was last conveyed to the school board of the city of Clifton Forge, Virginia, to which the Alleghany Highlands School Board appears to be the lawful successor, and whereas the town of Clifton Forge has maintained the Jefferson School property for many years because it and the former Alleghany County School Board mistakenly thought it was owned of record by the town, and therefore the title should be clarified. Now therefore be it resolved by the Alleghany Highlands School Board that, number one, the Jefferson School is of no further use for the Jefferson School property and is therefore declared surplus. Number two, the school board hereby approves the conveyance of the Jefferson School to the town of Clifton Forge upon receipt of consent from the Board of Supervisors of Alleghany County and approval of a resolution to accept the Jefferson School from the town council of the town of Clifton Forge. Number three, upon occurrence of the foregoing conditions, the chair, vice chair, and superintendent, any of whom may act, are hereby authorized and directed to execute and deliver to the town by a quick claim and without warranty of title a deed of conveyance conveying the Jefferson School to the town, along with such customary closing documents as may be reasonably necessary and approved by division council. The deed of conveyance shall include a true copy of this resolution. Number four, and this resolution is in effect upon adoption. Adopted at a regular meeting of the Alleghany Highlands School Board held on April the 14th, 2025.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Morgan.
You're welcome.
Any further questions? If not, we'll accept the motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the resolution as presented.
Motion by Ms. Scruggs Duncan. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Perry. Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Mr. Ear.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramsey.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Littleton.
Yes, ma'am.
Mrs. Morgan.
Yes.
Mrs. Scruggs Duncan.
Yes.
Mr. Umstead.
Yes.
And Mr. Woodson.
Yes, ma'am.
On to policy revisions. 25-307, review of policy section B, school board governance and operations. This is an information item.
Sure, and Chairman Littleton and members of the board, there are a large number of policies before you tonight on review, just as part of our typical process of moving through policies, making sure they remain accurate with law and appropriate division practices. They are all for information this evening, so they would all come back to you for action next month if we follow our typical process. So in section B, which is school board governance and operations, there is one policy suggested for review, which is a BFE, which is the policy for administration and policy absence. There's simply been an update for clarity of language, and that is projected on the screen right now for the audience. Just as a reminder, especially if you're in the audience tonight, all of the blue lines on our agenda online, you can click those and you can go see those documents. They're the same documents in the board member packets that they're looking at. So again, that would come back to you for information, for action next month. So just wanted to present that for information this evening.
Thank you, Superintendent Halterman. Any questions?
So one of the recommendations that I had going into the merge, I guess before the merge happened, but I almost think it would be better and easier if we were to do a Saturday as a board and methodically go through our policies. I think years gone by, boards wrote their own policies, and now we I guess lean upon, for lack of a better term, the VSBA to keep up with the law and also make recommendations to the board on policy. You know, so I find that a bit counter to the authority and the charge that a local school board has. So I would like for this board to think about that. I understand we're in the process now of reviewing them haphazardly, I guess, through a period of time. But it makes sense to me if we were able to pick a day where we could all be available and methodically work through them. I think it makes a lot more sense. Just a thought to consider.
An additional thought to that, Mr. Woodson, would be a policy review committee, whereas in most cases, from what I've seen, a school division would appoint 2 board members along with administration to go through a comprehensive approach to that. No offense, but having marathon Saturday meetings sounds horrible to me, and I think it's an inefficient way to go about it as well, because it would necessitate administration to be there on Saturday. And I think there's a quality of life concern that we have to be cognizant of with staff. So just as we do with the budget review committee, there was back last year some momentum. I think the board at least discussed a policy review committee, and that lost steam for whatever reason. But I think I would be interested in revisiting that. And then that would allow the board to have representation going through the comprehensively, because, you know, as is pointed out by Ms. Halterman a lot when we go through policy, we often have very minor changes to some of these, and that's what VSBA often recommends. So many of the changes are semantics. So I would just like to avoid having the entire board having to go through and just change a few words. I would be more interested as a body for us to really sink our teeth into meaningful policy change rather than just wordplay.
Yeah, you know, I can't disagree that the majority of these are simple word changes. However, there are some that aren't, and those are the ones that kind of get glassed over when you just handle it the way we handle it here. But it's my opinion. We're all entitled to that, I guess. So yeah, either way, I think either approach is fine. If you want to appoint someone to methodically go through it, I'd be glad to volunteer.
Thank you. All right. Any more on that policy, section B? We have a bunch of them here to go through. 25-308, review policy section C, general school administration. This is for information. Superintendent Halterman.
Sure. So Chairman Littleton, members of the board, this is going to sound a lot like the previous update because policy CHD is essentially the same, what is the same policy as BFE. There's cross references in our policy manual. So the red line version, if you will, that you can link to on this memo is very similar. It suggested wording modifications for clarity. So you see some reasonably minor changes there, just for clarity of reading, primarily is the way I read that. It does not appear to be related to any change in the law itself. Occasionally we see one with a change in the law itself. This appears to be clarity of reading.
Thank you very much, Superintendent Halterman. Any questions on that policy? If not, we'll go to 25-309, review of policy section D, fiscal management.
Yes, Chairman Littleton, members of the board, these are the fiscal management policies that are up for review. They are policy DI and policy DN, and the changes here are policy and legal references updated to reflect amendments of the Virginia Code. So the code sections involved are slightly different for each policy, but it's just basically making sure that we're in tight alignment with the Code of Virginia. And so those references are updated. So, you know, for people who don't use the policy manual every day, sometimes it's really helpful to attend to those references. Those letters at the beginning are kind of how you can look up a policy. And then at the end of most of the policies, or many of the policies, there's a list of policies that may be related. So if you're ever using our policy manual for any reason, sometimes that's a nice tool to find other items that may be of interest.
Thank you, Superintendent Halterman. Any questions on section D? If not, we're going to 25-310, review of policy section E, support services update. This is information.
Sure. And Chairman Littleton, members of the board, we have two policies in section E, support services, up for revision through their revision cycle. They are an update to cross-references in policy EF, food services management, and updates on the legal references to the specific code section cited in EFD, the food sanitation program.
Thank you very much, Superintendent Halterman. Any questions? As we stated earlier, this are all for information will be voted on next month. 25-311, 311, review policy, section F, facilities development updates.
Right, and Chairman Wilson, members of the board, section F only has one policy up for revision, and that's the facilities planning policy. It has some wording clarity changes and a change to the legal references listed. It lists an additional section of the Code of Virginia and lines out one of the previous policy references.
Is this recent, that energy efficiency construction is crossed out?
I'm thinking that was historically a recommended policy, and then that policy has left most policy manuals, so it's just been missed on updates. If there's not, we don't want to send people looking for a policy that's not there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Superintendent. Any other questions? All right, on to 25.312, review of policy, section G. This is personnel.
So in section G, Chairman Littleton, members of the board, Mr. Vaughn has worked hard to go through these policies. You have a variety of practices that are getting updated here. GBEA, which is about the unlawful manufacture, distribution, dispensing, possession, or use of a controlled substance. It has clarifying language, removes some redundancy, highlighted requirement regarding the notification of convictions, which is important for making sure we're all in compliance with all of the law. GBLA, which is about third-party complaints against employees. The language has been updated for consistency with additional legal references and cross-references updated. There's an associated proposed regulation. So that is an additional set of directions, if you will, for following through on that policy. So that will come to you most likely in May for information. In section policy GBN, staff hiring procedures, the language is updated for consistency, cross-reference is updated. That's going to continue with policy GBR, voluntary retirement savings program. And then in GDQ, school bus drivers, the language is updated to be consistent with the Code of Virginia, with the legal references and cross-references also updated. So a lot of technical updates in that section. The piece I'd really want to highlight again is that third-party complaints against employees. Please note that there'll be a regulation associated with that policy too. So the policy will go through its update and then the regulation.
Thank you, Superintendent Hutchman. Any questions on that policy? If not, we'll go to 25.313, review of policy, section J, students.
And Chairman Littleton, members of the board, this is a longer section of updates. So JCA, JCB, JCEB, JFCA, JFCC, JHDA, JJAC, JM, JOD, and the form associated with JOD are all updated. Now, many of these are updates on the legal references and the cross-references, similar to what we've been talking about. There are a couple that have a little bit of additional detail, so I'd like to highlight those. JCA, which is the policy concerning transfers by students who are victims of crimes. The policy has been updated to clarify language. JCB, which is transfers by students in persistently dangerous schools. Those policies have been updated to be more consistent with the current law. Then you have admission of non-public students for part-time enrollment policy. It also has some language clarifications. There's some code reference update that's on our student removal form and a formatting update to add a related signature. And then many of the rest of these are code references and language references. Want to make sure you note that the policy JM, restraint and seclusion of students, does require that that policy be reviewed annually. It doesn't have to be changed annually. It just has to be reviewed.
Thank you, Superintendent Hutchman. Any questions? Not 25.314, review of policy, section K, school community relations. This is information.
And Chairman Littleton, members of the board, section K does contain a diversity of policies, so I want to be realistic about these as I present these. KA, goals for school community relations. The language has been updated for clarity with the cross-references updated. KB, the public information program. Legal references have been updated with the language updated, and that's a good example of a language update there referenced on that memo. KBE, internet privacy. The policy itself has been updated, and then please note that the code does require that every public body, including school boards, that has a website, make its internet privacy policy available on the website in a conspicuous manner, and our information technology team takes care of that for us. We really appreciate that. KD is public participation at school board meetings. which includes legal references updates, language updates, and the policy now specifies the allowability of student participation in accordance with recent laws passed and with the policy that was passed last year, BDDH. For clarity, our previous practice did not restrict student participation, but the code now reflects that our policy has to specifically indicate that student participation is allowed. KG is public use of the schools. It also has just some legal references and policy cross-reference updates. And KH, public gifts to the schools, the same policy cross-reference updates and language updates on the word donation.
Thank you, Superintendent Holton. Any questions? If not, we'll go on to 25-315, review of policy, section L, education agency relations. For information.
Yes, and Chairman Littleton, members of the board, and thanks everyone for grace as I continue to be the main voice presenting these. In section L, we have two policies up for review. LEB is advanced and alternative courses for credit. The policy cross-references have been updated, the language has been updated. The language now includes direct references to industry-recognized credentials accepted as substitutes for certain credits required for high school graduation. That's consistent with the Virginia Board of Education's action, and it is also just supportive of a lot of things our community holds dear in terms of getting students ready for whatever is next for them, including direct entry to the workplace when that's appropriate. LBD is home instruction, and the policy cross-references have been updated. Language is updated to be consistent with other policies. And that is section L.
Any questions for Superintendent Holton? If not, we'll go to 25-316, review of policy GCBD, GCGR, and GDDR. This is information.
Good evening.
Mr. Vaughn.
Just a change from what you just heard. VSBA policies, most of what you've heard are legal updates and some cross-references. These three policies are a little more refined to our specific needs. Probably about a year or so before we actually merged our divisions, we worked together as Covington City and Alleghany County, working on merging our policies. And through that process, we have done a really nice job, and then as we've moved along and grown together, we've had to change and adjust some of the policies, and that's where some of these recommendations come. The first one is a recommendation for our sick leave policy to move from 3 days to 5 days, permit employees to take up to 5 days for illness or death in an immediate family, and that's a recommendation. The next two, GDD-R, is paraprofessional employment qualifications. This is a requirement regulation related to Title I, and then GCGR, a code requirement related to teachable or experience that's allowed for teaching experience. And these are two regulations we do not have currently in place, but I'd like to get those added in. So these are for information. I'm happy to answer questions, either tonight or in the future. Thank you.
Any questions? Mr. Bowles? If not, we'll move on. I just want to reiterate, if you go to the Alleghany Highlands Public Schools website, go to the school board pull-down tab, and then to agendas, go into tonight's meeting, it's the 24-25 school year, and the April 14th meeting. And you'll see what's up on the screen, as you can see now, and then all the blue tabs, you can go to it and look. And all of these policies, we should be voting on them next month or the following month. Yes, sir.
Mr. Wilson. So I'm assuming, can we get the option to have a policy committee formed on the agenda for next month?
We can record that for the upcoming agenda building.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Thank you. All right, on to other business. That was added above. And now on to public board member, superintendent, and public comment. 25-318, public comment. And I think we have a couple people signed up tonight. Well, thank you for coming. And just want to remind everyone that when you get up, please state your name, and you'll have 3 minutes to make your comment. And once you hear the buzzer go off, try to wrap things up. Thank you. First, we have Ms. Lori Seville.
Hi, again, as you mentioned, my name is Lori Seville, and I am a teacher at Clifton Middle School. And tonight, I'm kind of going to be all over the place because there's many things. Before I forget, can you all please describe we said we might get a bonus. It says June 1st, good standing. If somebody at some point can describe what that means to me, I'd appreciate that. You know, when I talked to the teachers about coming here today, and I said, okay, what do we need to talk about? What do you want me to share? And communication, lack of communication, no communication. And then one person even said, you know, it's communication. We have the same complaints, but unfortunately they're falling on deaf ears. So I think it's important that you as a group know that's what your teachers are feeling. And if you value your teachers, you're going to stop and you're going to respond. I have sent emails. I think you all know that. But I don't get responses. Some I did. Yes, I did. But not many. And if I treated my parent emails like you all are treating my emails, I have a feeling I'd be sitting in somebody's office and would be having somebody talk to me about that. I just think it's very unprofessional for some of you all to not respond, and I understand as a school board member, you can't respond as a mass, but some of you, not everybody, has not even responded to one thing. I appreciate oh my goodness, I can't think of the most recent test that came out. Anyway, air quality, there we go. I appreciate that coming out. My question, I have a couple things. I don't know what day they were there. Was it raining? That was my one question. I remember them coming into my room, but I don't remember anything more than that. Because I still think there's something there that needs to be looked into. I truly do. It's just a matter of figuring out exactly what it is. I don't know what it is. That's not my thing, but from what I'm seeing in, sewer gas, that's what I'm hearing. Not my professional thing there, so I'm not going to speak of that. And I also want to say, I am retiring this year. I love teaching. I love my job. As I was sitting there teaching today, I thought, I don't know about not doing this anymore. But it's the craziness of things like this year that is pushing more and more teachers out. Us being trampled on from the top down, and this is a very minor thing, but I do appreciate the time that I have had here in this system. And there have been some amazing, wonderful memories, and I just hope that we can figure out something so that we don't keep losing teachers that we desperately need here. And I'm afraid that might keep happening if we don't figure out something. So, thank you. I appreciate it.
Our next speaker is Amanda Tomsek. I apologize for pronouncing it.
The light up here, it's hard to see.
you, Ms. Thompson. Ms. Stanton, we have one more.
Leslie Werleiner.
Ms. Worley. All right, on to 25-319, school board member comments and superintendent comment. Bob, you want to start?
Yeah, I'm just enjoying the silence. First of all, thank you all for coming out, giving your presentations or whatever. The weather kids, absolutely a joy. Absolutely a joy. The athletes during the winter sports represented this school system quite well. Not a success. Very much appreciated. As a former coach here and teacher, I think there's a lot of things that need to be done. The last presentation by the last two individuals that presented them spoke volumes to me, yet not a word was said. I think the message they're getting across is that we're not talking to them. We're not returning phone calls. We're not doing a lot of things. It's just weird to me. I'm going to talk about something really weird. My daughter, who's a lawyer in D.C., called me and said, "Dad, Did you have anything to do with the thing I saw on Facebook? It had the middle school with barbed wire fence up around it, like a concentration camp, carrying body bags out. I said, Mary, no, I did not. I would not even approve of something like that. She said, it's getting a lot of movement up here, Dad. People want to call you and ask you what it's about. I have no idea. I have no idea at all. I think the best thing you can do is keep pushing, doing what you want to do, but respect the people you're dealing with. I don't want to hear about any threats or anything else. Communicate and work with people. Eventually, the world will be the way you want it to be, maybe. There's an election in November. Vote. Some of you run if you want to. But I can honestly tell you that the 6 people up here, other than me, care about the kids in this county. A lot of you might not think they do, but they do. Like my grandfather used to say, the hardest thing to get a car out of is a rut. Maybe that's where we're in, a rut. I do not know. I appreciate you coming out. Please continue to support our kids. And Josh, if you're here, what things you're doing up at JRTC is wonderful. You know what I'd like to see up there, and I will never mention it to you until tomorrow, probably. Have a good evening. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. France.
Yes. I too want to welcome you. And one of the things that jumped up to me was, Mr. Price, the kindness award. That says volumes about how we should be, how each one of us should be. I mean, Dad always told me you get a lot more from honey than you do vinegar. I want to congratulate all the winter athletes, the VSB business. Thank you for all your support. The MG Tech, I think that's going to be an asset to our system. In response to some of the comments made about lack of communication, well, yes, we got tons of emails from different people. But what we did is we sent them to a central location so that you would get one correct response instead of 7 or 8 different responses, okay? That may be different, okay? So that's, if you're talking about me, no, I did not respond. I sent them to info at Alleghany Public Schools. I used to, when I first got on the board, well, I still do, I watched people, different boards, different governments, bodies, and I watched, you know, how sometimes it got, we'd have people put out, they'd have them took out of the building, they would have them rowdy, they would say things that was just unkind, and I said, I am glad to live in Alleghany County, because that's not how we are. We are not like that. But in the last 3 months, I've seen some of that. I've seen people get taken out of the meetings. I've seen them being rowdy, okay? And you know, and I'm not for 1 second would I want to diminish the issues of the kids being sick, the kids having high CO2 levels, headaches. But if you look at those reports and you listen to Ms. Morrow, it is not coming from CMS. All those reports cannot be wrong. That's not a report that we did as a board. These are reports from independent people. The other thing is that we really need to be nicer to people. You know, I don't care really what you say about me, but what I do want is, or would expect is, you know, people to be more considerate of staff, administration, other board members. And you need to look at what this is doing to our community. We're dividing the community. And if I'm a company from economic development and I'm coming to look at this area and I see this going on, do you think I'm going to bring a manufacturing or any kind of other business in this area? The only news we get from outside anymore, to Roanoke, the radio, TV, and everything, is bad news. This is not a bad community. This is not a bad school system. Everyone on here cares about our kids, their welfare, their safety, and how we're going to educate. That's what our job is, to put them in a safe environment and educate, teach them the 3 R's. What are we teaching them by this division stuff? We are better than that. We are better than that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Francis. Mr. Woodson.
Yes, sir. First, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. I think we are a solid, good school system. I think like everything else, we have areas to improve. Communication being a key one. So what I would encourage you to do is continue to be engaged, involved, in the school system. Right? We provide a service for the taxpaying community and the parents of the Alleghany Highlands. And we are a consolidated school system. I like to remind folks of that. Sometimes it doesn't feel that way, but we are. I'd like to mention Mr. Nick Fry again. I've had some interactions with him as an individual. Impressive young man. I think when we talk about character and we talk about a lot of the good in the world, he's one that comes to mind. I think, boy, if we could copy that level of character, not only with kids but with some adults, it'd be awesome. So that leads me back to a couple things, I've asked to think about. And I'd like for us to add it as agenda items so that we can talk about it and either take action or not. One is student representation on the school board. I still think that is a way to improve communication with our students and give them a sense of ownership, which I think is lacking today, right? When I walk up and down the hallways, I see signs in front of the bathroom and stuff about, more or less, it's guys, come on, don't do anything stupid in the restroom. Well, if we had a sense of ownership, hopefully that would self-correct over time. So I would like to see that added to the agenda. I'd like to see and understand completely the character education opportunities we have throughout the school system. Specifically, again, adding 10 commandments at the entranceway of every school. I'd like to see our board add a local pastor to open our meetings in prayer. Again, the character needs to start here, in my opinion, and work its way down throughout the entire system. I'd also like to see us consider doing if a Saturday is too much to ask, perhaps a separate evening meeting during the week to discuss the meeting agenda, how it's laid out, how it's functioning, and or if there's tweaks we can make to make it more efficient, more meaningful. Again, to me, our meetings feel like a presentation instead of a meeting. And then also discuss reorganization of the school board and when it happens. Used to be the appointments were made and then the reorganization took place. Now, obviously, the elections are held in November. Reorganization takes place in June, I believe, for this board, or July. So we ought to have those two activities closer together, in my opinion. And then also talk about current list of board norms that we have that I guess was adopted. I think that needs to be a living document that needs to discuss every time the board changes. So those are just a few things. I know I've mentioned these before. I'd like for us to put those on the agenda so that we can either take action or not, and get the consensus of the board on where we stand on those. Again, stay involved, stay engaged. We're better if we work together and figure out a path forward than we are if we put walls up between us. So please stay engaged. Please continue to work towards a common goal of making our system the very best, most efficient we can be. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Ms. Scruggs, something?
Well, starting chronologically, I want to congratulate all the athletes and their coaches and their parents. That was one of the bonuses we got in merging the school system. I also wanted to thank our business partners. Kathy and Kathleen have left, but we appreciate that our businesses stand up for our kids and that the student body sees that. You mentioned Audie and Stacy and Miss Lemaster in solving this problem to get these kids where they needed to be, and that's the kind of that's what I think that our school system in the past has been known for, is having people that'll go the extra mile. Thank you for Grayson, Mason, and Kendrick for our lesson in barometric pressure. And I hope people will try to learn more about the MG Tech School, because it's a great opportunity for kids to get what they need in high school to get out of school and go to work and not have to leave our community. I also want to speak to the families, all of the families that have been reaching out to us. We appreciate your respectful communication. This merger of our two systems is probably represents the most significant shift in the education landscape in our community since integration. There was a lot of emotion that went into that decision, and I think that some of that is in this merger remains. We have strong feelings coming to us from multiple angles. We respect the families that are requesting that we keep our kids in the classroom, try to settle things down so that they can get their focus back on education. I respect the parents who have children that are unwell, and that we and the health department can't give you a good reason for that. I've said this before. If it was my child, I would be on it in the same way. I hope that we can get to the bottom of that, and I also hope that we can get back to calming the students and calming the community. There's a lot of anxiety amongst the student body. They have so many things to be anxious about. There's a lot of anxiety amongst the faculty. I know that. Even just coming here tonight, there's anxiety on our side of the table when the deputy recommends that he walk you to your car after the meeting. And that is not what my hometown is famous for. It is just not. So I hope we can work together, get our focus back on education, continue to follow down the road, give information to the people who are doing the medical research to try to understand why some of these children have high levels of carboxyhemoglobin, not just the children, but people in their households. I want us to be known for coming together again. I was away this weekend with people from across the state, and they see it, and they see us here. People are watching, and not just adults, students are watching. I want you to know that I have been open to to quality communication and I'm kind of get in trouble sometimes for trying to connect with people that are unhappy. I've made attempts in the past, and I know, Mrs. Seville, you can attest to this, of reaching out and trying to solve what was presented as a problem, and you know how that ended. But I will take calls from parents. I don't care when it is. I have spoken with health professionals here in the community. I've even spoken to some of the kids. So please, the worst thing that I hear there are a lot of insults out there, especially on social media, and I try not to go there. But the hardest thing to hear is that you really believe that we don't care about the students, and that is so untrue. So let's just get through this together. That's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Groves. Mrs. Morgan.
Yes. After so many of my peers have talked, it's kind of hard to follow up that, but I do want to thank everybody for coming out tonight and recognize those who were honored, like everyone else, especially our student, Mr. Fry, with kindness. You know, we live in a world where you can be anything, so why would you choose to be anything but kind? You don't have to agree with me to be kind. We can have differences of opinion, but we do need to keep kindness at the forefront and respect each other's differences in a kind way. And I would agree with my peers that everyone on this board and all of our administration, every teacher, every staff member in every building, we're all here for the right reasons. We're here for the kids. And if I had to use a word to sum up Alleghany Highlands, I would choose resilient. And we are resilient, and we will get through this, and we will make sure that our kids receive a quality education, that their happiness and well-being is put forth in the front of that as we do it, and continue to work through this together as we should. Also, many congratulations to the winter sports folks that were here tonight and those who were not, and the VSBA honor roll participants. And Miss Nee Johnson and I had a great time wearing some goggles and making a thermometer up here, and that was a really fun activity. So a big shout out to Miss Lowe's class, and also the parents who make it a priority to get their children here and participate. I know that's not always easy on a school or work night, so we appreciate that as well. So it's crazy to say that graduation is next month. So if you know a high school senior that's graduating next month, show them some love as they end this chapter and begin to write the next chapter in their book of life. It's a very exciting time, and with everything going on, I don't want us to lose sight that we have a lot of exciting things going on. So thank you for coming out. That's all I've got.
Thank you, Ms. Morgan. Mr. Eric.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to blow Mr. Franson's mind here. I'm going to be the shortest, Gerald. I will echo much of what my colleagues have said. I will kind of touch on Mr. Fry. As Danielle said, I mean, it's heartwarming, I think, to see somebody who has a student that has been recognized for just being kind to other students, and that's to Mr. Woodson's point. I mean, I think that's the best model. That's better than any program or any poster we can make. Is having students who follow that example. So that's leadership. So I appreciate that from Mr. Fry. I do want to recognize our winter athletes and everything they have achieved. And as was said, I hope we are going through a golden age of athletic achievement. I know some people roll their eyes when that comes up, but athletics are important for a lot of kids for a lot of reasons. So it's good to be able to recognize. I would also like to thank Mrs. Lowe and her students, because what was apparent, I think, to the three of us as we were trying to measure wind speed accurately up here was the kids had to teach us, and I think they were a little apprehensive about that at first, but then they remembered that they had the knowledge from Ms. Lowe, and that's what good teaching is all about, and I really do appreciate that from her. To be faithful to what I promised, that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Eric. Superintendent Hutcherman.
good evening. It's hard to follow all the comments tonight, but there are hopefully a few things I can offer. Very lovely to see everybody here tonight. No matter what brings you to the meeting, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're able to participate. Want to again remind folks about the website that's available to you. There's a reason for that communication being centralized there, because we're trying to make sure people are receiving consistent information in real time and at the same time. So we absolutely appreciate everybody's referencing of that. That is helpful. And if you're having any difficulty navigating it, give us a call at the office and one of us will help you find what you need. Happy to do that. Want to again say thank you to all of our students and staff as they begin the most intense part of our testing season. It's starting. It's upon us. It's upon us this week. So we really appreciate all their hard efforts on all those tests that happen near the end of the year. And want to again highlight the recognitions from tonight. It was really neat to have the variety of recognitions we had, and I sincerely hope I don't forget any. From students teaching us how to make meteorology tools, which was pretty fantastic, to businesses that have made contributions to the school division, to a large number of athletes being recognized, which is incredible, and to follow on what several individuals have said this evening, that is a very important driver of student engagement in school for many students, not all, but many, and we really appreciate that. And then I'd be remiss not to mention Nick's very impressive award. And I've got to say, I knew Nick was receiving this award ahead of some other folks. I've been sworn to secrecy. And in the first week of February, I found myself here at Alleghany High School because Alleghany High School had received the very difficult word that one of their assistant principals was gravely ill. And of course, that assistant principal has now passed away. And I remember walking into a classroom that Nick just happened to be in, and him looking at me and saying, "Wow, it's good to see you this morning," and just really meaning that. And that level of kindness, in that moment, I couldn't say anything to Nick about what was to come, but I knew that the Commonwealth of Virginia had picked the right person. We really appreciate all those gestures, not only from Nick, of course, but from everyone in our community who's able to share any kind of heartfelt initiative with anyone. We really appreciate that very much. And I believe that's all I have this evening. I do hope that I haven't inadvertently forgotten any of those recognitions, because those recognitions are very important. And again, we want to make sure that individuals are aware that the presence of the website and the response form on the website, it's driving the additional information that gets put on the website. So it's kind of an iterative process that goes around like that, and we want to make sure we're keeping that up to date for you.
Thank you, Superintendent Hoffman. I'll reiterate, try to be brief, but want to congratulate all of our athletes that were here tonight. Thank Mrs. Lowe and her 5th grade class. That was great learning all the meteorology things. Thanks to our community partners and businesses. And now I want to go back and say something Superintendent Hoffman says to me a lot, and that's, we want to strive for excellence, not be mediocre. And I do truly feel that is our vision, her vision to move forward. We want to be the best. And good examples of that, I mean, things that are going on at JRTC with Mr. Kraft, the programs that we're doing in conjunction with Mountain Gateway Community College, the program that Mrs. Fox does at the Clifton Academy. They're all great things that give our kids opportunities that they might not have somewhere else. But I want to thank everybody for coming here this evening, and we will move on to closed session 25-320, Code of Virginia, 2.2-371.